Welcome back to the Whiskey Couch with me, Gustav Miller, as your host in a very sunny and warm South Africa with day temperatures way above 30 degrees. A warm South Africa that we experience, a warm summer that we're experiencing here in South Africa. But fortunately, quite reasonable and cool inside here in the Whiskey Couch, and I'm excited to do this review with you today. It's the second in the series of the 19-year-old Glenfiddich Age of Discovery. I have already done the Madeira cask, and today I'm going to do the Bourbon cask, and then I'm going to do the red wine cask. Glenfiddich, of course, founded way back in 1886 by William Grant, situated in the heart of Speyside in Dufftown, northern Highland of Scotland, and owned by William Grant and Sons. They are one of the very few private family-owned distilleries out there, and Glenfiddich has been the biggest single malt producer and seller since the 1960s up to about 3 years ago, when Glenlivet became the biggest single malt producer and seller. Glenfiddich, the first distillery to open a distillery visiting center in 1969, I think that was. So I have got quite an appreciation and respect for Glenfiddich. They've come a long way and they've done some great things. I've already poured the drum before the video because 19 years old, you've got to let it stand for a while before you start with the tasting and the nosing. This particular one, Glenfiddich 19-year-old Age of Discovery Bourbon. What does it say here specifically? The Bourbon Cask Reserve, matured in ex-Bourbon casks for 19 years. Originally for the travel retail market, limited release only, and this particular one launched in honor of the explorers of the great American rivers and the great cities that grew up around these rivers. And you can see that in the wonderful graphics depicted on this fantastic gift box. Opens up like this with some more graphics in there, the river explorers and all of the stories, and then the whiskey fits right there in the middle. So it's getting quite rare, and you're quite fortunate if you can still pick them up, these 19-year-olds. Tasting notes. What can we expect? A vibrant living gold, autumn barley gold color. Autumn barley gold color. On the nose, warm toffee, citrus notes, marmalade, orange liqueur, slightly and almost smoky note, and oak tannin. On the palate, complex, layered, and then vanilla pod and tobacco. I'm just reading sort of the highlights here. Cardamom, nutmeg, with a delightfully long finish. Age of Discovery, 19-year-old. Let's see what we get today on this promising whiskey. Toffee and citrus, I agree with. I'm not always getting everything that the distillers put on their gift boxes. For instance, now here I'm not getting everything that they're saying, and I think that is what is wonderful about whiskey tasting and review. It's still very subjective, and everybody's got his or her own experience with a whiskey, and that makes it so adventurous. No marmalade on toast that I'm getting, but I am getting some pastry notes, honey and apples, bit of cinnamon. Very good nose. Same as the Madeira cask, a pleasant, inviting nose. Vanilla and the sweetness and the layering and the light tannins from the oak, that is what I agree with. I'm not getting the leather and the tobacco on the palate, but I am getting toffee and gentle spices and apples, and I'm getting apricot, stone fruits. That's what I'm getting here. Stone fruits. The finish is a bit longer than the Madeira cask whiskey. It's a bit longer of a finish. It is smooth. There's vanilla that's sort of lingering, sweet fruit and a hint of spices. This is quite pleasant. I must say, this one is better than the Madeira one for me. Yes, I do like this one. The Bourbon Cask Reserve. Fruity, stone fruits with the vanilla and the bit of honey and the oak spiciness. And this one is 40% alcohol by volume, the European version, whereas the Madeira cask finish that I did in the previous video was 43%, the South African version. I wish I had the 43% for this one as well. A few drops of water and I'm getting more vanilla and more stone fruit jam and light chocolate notes. More vanilla and ripe fruit with a few drops of water. Literally only a few drops because of the 40% alcohol by volume. If I have to summarize, vanilla, toffee and ripe fruit in chocolate. That is my summary for this whiskey. And I do prefer this one above the previous one that I did. Quite expensive, between $110 and $170 in the US if you can pick them up. More than £100 in the UK, here in South Africa, between 2,000 and 3,000 rand. So quite expensive for this 19-year-old whiskey. If you want to pair this whiskey with a food snack, I would recommend a vanilla truffle, so to connect with the vanilla notes in the flavor profile, or a fruity chocolate to connect with the fruit and the chocolate notes with in the flavor profile, or even a vanilla wafer stick could also work well. I found this white chocolate with apricot, and I'm going to try this one. I've got a piece here. You can see the apricot pieces in there. Let's see if this works. Delicious chocolate, apricot and white chocolate. I am just amazed how well this whiskey pairs. If you pick the right food snack, I mean, this is like a 4.5 out of 5 pairing. It just works so well. The same with the previous one that I did, the Madeira finish. The pairing is fantastic. What a nice adventure. Thank you for watching. Remember to share this with your friends. I'll see you soon for the third and the last video on the Age of Discovery 19-year-old red wine cask Slanger.